5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. How's everybody doing? Here we are. It is 10 o'clock on the East Coast, live with Neve. We are here to talk about all this good stuff going on this week and the weekend, and it's cool here in New York. It is gorgeous out. It's about 60 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. The water is calm on the Atlantic Ocean, and life is good. And I hope everybody else out there, in spite of all the fuckery going on in the world and various people's health crap, you're here. This is your spot of safety and lunacy and all kinds of crazy for today. Speaking of crazy, we've got our main man Irish on in a little bit. We've got Julie. Look at you sitting there, you red-haired, toe-headed fucker, you. How are you this morning?
I take great pride in being a towhead. I'm currently out in Michigan doing it's not a yard sale, it's not a garage sale, it is a donation freebie. For the late, great Jake Martin. Mm-hmm. And so we're just trying to clean out the stuff at Ma's place and get it all situated and taken care of. And as you can see,
oh yes, you're doing a brisk business.
Oh yeah, we're going well. We'll go up in here. We'll see what's happening.
Let's go up and interview some of the people.
Yes, please do share.
I want you to go up to the pest exterminator in the coming weeks. I want you to go in with a tape and act as an inside reporter. You go in there as an investigative reporter for Live with Neve.
Oh yes, I mean we have all kinds of great stuff going on.
So let's see what you got.
As you can see, everybody's here. We're doing like I said, it's a donation. We're going to donate to the Wounded Warriors Foundation.
All right.
Again, in honor of the late great Jake Martin.
All right. Is Jake a friend of yours?
Jake was Donna's husband who passed last year, and
okay,
if I had a set of parents, it would be them.
Wow. Well, I wish you guys well with selling that stuff. I'm sure she's got to have some memories that are a little, emotionally tough for her, the poor lady. There you are.
And this is Donna here.
Hi, Donna.
Any friend of Irish's is a friend of ours, and that goes for everybody on the cast. You're all right. I've heard a lot about you. It's nice to meet you.
Yes, it is nice to finally meet you.
She told me you're trouble. I better watch myself if I get out there. So I've heard stories.
All right. Yeah, so she was, as you guys know, my colored history in past.
Yes.
She was one of the people that looked out for me. And took care of me when I needed help. And I always told her if I ever get out of this mess and she ever needs me, I would be there. And damn it, I'm here.
Well, you know what? It's good. You're a man of your word, and we're glad to have you on this morning. And we got all kinds of interesting stuff. Julie and I have been working on all kinds of secret projects, not just one, because we don't just go, we don't just say, well, we got Project X. Now we've had like Project X1 parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's all kinds of mysterious.
Version 2.3.
Yes, they're going to be coming out. You're going to see some new things we haven't seen or heard from our talented crew here, and it's going to be weird. I promise you that, which in a good kind of weird. So look at that. Hi, Angela. My gosh, one of my favorite singers. The girl's got a pair of pipes on her.
Yeah, she does, man. Woo.
Peel paint off the ceiling, man. I'd like to work with her. She's got a hell of a voice. Really.
Glass is breaking everywhere. And hearts breaking everywhere with the lovely Julie Bruno today.
Yeah, you know what? She's worked her ass off to get up the chain of the music scene, and I wish her really well. She's killer. the real thing. You don't see that often. Somebody that's paid her dues and just doing very well. Amazing artist. So what else do we got? We have Phil Fest coming on, guys.
And we have Mike. We have Mike here, so I know he's waiting to rant.
Where's the rant man?
He's right here. Well, he's ready to go. You guys ready for him?
Yeah, let's go ahead and hear what Mike's upset about.
The man of the world. I tell you what, that guy puts more good food. Look, you can just go to his Instagram page and you're going to get hungry.
Oh, I know. He is. He likes to eat, and he's quite the chef and gourmand.
All right, let's see what he has.
Well, let's bring him in.
Hey guys and girls, haven't ranted in a while. Haven't really had to rant, but I'm gonna rant because I'm old. I'm old as freaking shit, and you're gonna have it's happening to you too. So, Dingbat Debbie and I go to the supermarket the other day. I had a list of about 70 things to buy. My reader's breaking the car. Now we go in the store. I said, "Oh, you got your readers, right?" "Oh no, I left mine in the car." Now we're going to the store like two freaking blind people. We're trying to hold the cereal like over here. Hey, how many grams of freaking things? Maybe we set it down on the shelf and we do this. No, we couldn't see shit. So out of the 70 things on the list, we wound up coming home with cold cuts. Because that's something we didn't have to look at. We just told the lady what we wanted. There was no vision involved. Trying to figure out the nutritional value of a Life cereal. I'm thinking maybe it says 10 grams of fiber. There's no way this thing. Just put it back. Everything we looked at. How much is it? What's the expiration date? We don't know. Put it back. So now, go to our list today, because now we have our readers. My Uncle Junior's, as a matter of fact. There they are. So I got my readers. We go in the store. Everything's happy. We're going up and down the aisles. I'm filling the cart with everything on the list. Reading everything. Get up to the cashier. She starts putting everything down the conveyor belt. And I do this. No wallet. No wallet. So I can't remember shit disease very bad. Thank God, Dingbat Debbie had a credit card for us to use. Well, all of that shit would have went back on the shelves too, and we would have tried a third time to go shopping. So now if you're over 60,
I take care, man.
Make sure you have your readers. Make sure you have your wallet. Make sure you have yourself, because it's absolutely ridiculous. So it's just, I have it. You're gonna get it. It's no doubt. That's it. End the freaking rant.
Oh, I'm sorry, but so Ding Debbie is the only person who was prepared. So maybe we should change her nickname from Dingbat Debbie to Prepared Debbie.
I think so. I think so. I mean,
Debbie on the ball.
Yes,
way to go, Debbie.
Yes, definitely. Hey, Deb, you keep him in line, man. You know, he's questionable.
I tell you what, those two are great. I mean, you know,
they are.
Want to talk about,
oh my God, so funny.
You know, a story that just kind of came together for those two, and they're so happy. I'm really happy for them, man. They're both just great people.
I love them both, but I'm still hedging my bets. I'm going to bet both ways on those two. Well, we got to see. Time will tell. Mike's a handful. I'm kidding you, Mike. I'm just messing with you.
Mike, poor Mike.
Poor Mike. He's out there going, that little bastard. I'm going to kill him.
Fucking
He's going to put me in one of those weird New York police holds or something. I'll be in trouble, you know. I'm looking at, you know, it's funny. We can sit here for you guys. We can look at the fans or the guests, either or, who are sitting in the dressing room. Phil sitting there. I think he's like drinking. He needs some avocado juice, probably. He's wondering. There he is. For everybody, we're going to have Phil on in the next break. And the funny thing, though, is I got his copy of his CD, or the tune, his new tune, Avocado. And ever since then, I've had it stuck in my brain. And I'm walking around the house singing the frickin' tune. So that bodes well for him, because I'm sort of like a small dog or a monkey that likes music, and if I wag my tail, it means I like it. And in this case, man, I just need a bunch of mangoes and go up on the roof, get naked, and throw the.
You mean avocados?
And
avocados. Excuse me. Yes, mango, avocado. What the fuck, you know?
Yeah, one's green and the other one's yellowish orange. I don't know.
Yes. I don't know how. I'm colorblind. Perhaps that could explain it. You know?
I make the same mistake. I'm just kidding.
So tell me, Irish, you got a crazy crime update from Detroit? Any good crazy news you've heard of lately?
Crazy crime update. Okay. Well, I tell you what, you turn on the morning news here, man. You kind of get your pick of how the Detroit crime rate goes.
Yeah.
I think probably the good one the other day was the people rammed the truck through the store
Mm-hmm.
and then pulled out and then robbed. It was like a cell phone store or something like that. And they went in
Okay.
and grabbed all the cell phones, and the guy took
They
off,
run
left
out
one
with
of the
like
guys in
handfuls
there.
of the damn things. Oh my God.
What happened, Irish? What did you say?
The guy pulled away and he left one of his buddies there. I mean, apparently, he's like, well, I mean, you got a phone, you can call me later.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Was he chasing him down the road? You know, I could see the footage from that. That would be great.
Oh, there's something else. You know, I think a lot of times if people were to take half of their ingenuity, half of their thoughts, and half of their ideas and put them into something productive, you know, it's pretty sophisticated anymore, right?
Well, you know,
Right.
a cop friend of mine said, you know, they're criminals for a reason. And, you know, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, most petty theft, it's all bullshit anyway. Half the people who steal shit are like really broke and they live in substandard living, and they probably go in and steal what they need. I've seen people stealing baby formula, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't really say anything. It's not my business, but
I knew a guy in the joint in there for stealing baby formula. He would take it from the store and then he would go to the next store and get the money for it because it's expensive.
Right. It's real
expensive. So we always used to tease him like, what are you in here for? I stole baby formula.
Well, actually, that's one of the things the mob does very well, from what I've heard. Definitely kind of a, hey,
Neil, you shouldn't be
how many
talking
cans
about
of baking soda can I bring by, huh, Paisan?
You know, I try to treat you like family. I treat you like a cousin. You shouldn't talk about our business like this in public.
No, you know, yeah, you don't become no Finocchio, okay?
I gotta go
big
get
man.
some quick creep for Neil.
You're a big man, you know. You're a handsome man.
Oh my God!
Drop the gun.
For
take
real.
the fucking cannoli. No,
I love cannolis.
I say leave the fucking gun. Take the cannolis. I agree.
Well, that's the message of the day right there. Let's just put
what a way to. I say we should have pie and cake for breakfast. Yeah.
Who are you, Cartman?
Conflicts through a pie eating contest.
I love pie. I like pie for breakfast, particularly.
I had pie this morning. I went last
Lord.
week. I went up north, and I got Amish Dutch
Amish pie.
That's
some sweet Amish pie. I love those Amish girls. They wake up with those curls. They fucking feed me to the squirrels.
There might have been like some twisted fantasy in there. I'm sitting there buying pie, and this cute little girl with all the Amish gear, and I'm just like,
I always wonder if under their garments they secretly have like the Victoria's thing going on, you know? Or
Jules, come on, don't look at me like that. The suspenders with those guys with their hats, and then just saying.
No, I'm thinking the women.
Oh, which guys are those? Send me some pictures.
I just one time want to get alone with an Amish girl just to find out what's under the hood.
Good God!
I wonder if they have big granny panties and shit, you know?
No, I
don't know.
I'm just going to derail the conversation right now because I like the things I was.
What are we going to have? Look, Amish are pacifists. What are you going to do down here? Come down here and kick my fucking ass or something? I mean, you know.
Listen, if you heard
there are a bunch of guys out there with rakes and
trail,
torches, lights, and that's usually just my neighbors when I play rock and roll too loud here on the hill.
What are you saying, Irish?
Pesty.
I was just going to say, if he hears the clumpity clump of horse, it's not Santa. Lock your door. The Amish heard this somehow, and they're coming.
Yeah, the Amish outlaws.
I mean,
you know, there is an Amish mafia. Maybe they'd show up.
Yes, I have heard of them.
I've seen they had a show on A&E about that.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right.
Where I'm from New York, so all I'm going to say about those guys is forget about it. You don't want to come here. You don't come here. You're not our people. You don't belong here.
Want to come mess with me.
You take your beard and your fucking silly suit and get out of here. Now that we've offended all of our Amish viewers, we're going to be moving on because it's 10:14. We're just going to.
They got one TV between the whole crowd of them, so I think we're good.
Actually, a friend of mine's a very gifted dentist, and he's good with hunks. You know. In fact, I think how about we make the rest of the day? We have to interview Phil. It's Igor's time to interview.
The bell.
My eyes right. Yes, you take the dame, I'll take the turban.
I know every single time Phil comes on.
Live with Neve.
Every time Phil comes on, I know he's like, "Oh God, next time, no."
I know. I just want to go to Brazil with him and chase around some Brazilian women. I think that would be a good holiday for Neil. Old Neve needs to hit Rio with a wetsuit.
That sounds like a good holiday vacation for all of us. I think.
Oh,
When
I'm
are we
having a
going?
blast. We're going
Anywhere.
to Rio, man. We're going with Phil down to Brazil. We're gonna
All
get
right.
a bunch of yayo and some Haars. We're gonna go crazy, man.
Okay, I'll see you guys back in a sec. I'll be
All
right
right.
back.
I'm Keith.
I'm Judy, and our company is Gone Country, and we design and produce our own really unique and fun cowboy hats. Keith and I have tried to create a business that's different by focusing on what's important to the customers. Our quality is so good that we offer a lifetime warranty on everything we sell. At the end of the day, if our customers are happy, we're happy. Check us out at GoneCountryHats.com.
Take a look at the sponsored artists on Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com to find your favorite artist's hat, like Duke Johnson, Sam Rourke, Neil, Jules, and more.
Hey there, it's Kevin Sorbo here, and you lucky people, you are live. You're live with Neve or Neve or Neve. I don't know. I can't say the dude's name. Anyway, you're on live with him, so I don't know. I guess that's a pretty good thing.
All right, everybody. It's half past the hour. Here we are on Live with Neve, and we've got our guest coming up. Kevin Sorbo cracks me up. He's such a funny guy, and he's a character. That's all I can say. He's a
He's an
big
actor.
manly man. I'm telling you, man.
He is.
We
that was
talk
very
about
nice.
the fact that he used to date my wife, and as a result, we're a little at odds.
Oh,
the
good God!
Xena
But we're
thing.
not. No, let's not even go over there.
Oh, I'm kidding. We're just gonna laugh about that, though. I always picture when she's mad wearing a Xena costume. coming after me. A writ in one hand and a fucking sword in the other. It's like, oh, not you again. Oh, I see a private secret message here. Let me see what we got.
I can't see me. Oh, there I am.
There you are.
All
So, Irish, have you had the pleasure of meeting Phil Fest yet?
Oh, he's the guitar player.
Yes.
Yes.
Savage guitar player. There he
Yes,
is.
beast.
Look at him.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Phil.
What's
How you
happening,
doing,
Phil?
Irish? How you doing, gang? What's going on, everybody?
Happy
Yeah, man.
day, man. It's always
Yeah,
a happy day when you bring a little bit of Miami up here to New York,
Oh man, my pleasure. You're saying it's 60 degrees up there? Are you kidding me?
No, it's beautiful.
What is it in Miami?
It's I haven't been out, I haven't looked, but it's typical. It's probably already lower 80s and it's muggy and
Yeah.
That's Tampa.
Yeah.
I'm right here. It's
55
81.
Yeah.
in Detroit.
Well,
Yeah.
we need to get you up here during the winter, get you a show in the city so that you can
Oh, I'd love it. I'd
come
love
up
it,
and
man.
bring us a little hot, some Brazilian.
I used to be in New York City, as you know, and you had the D contingent on board
Oh,
here,
yes.
and the whole time with Ronnie and Joey D, and the whole time we were D Force. For those that don't know, we were also the Starlighters. So
Right.
I had the honor and pleasure of backing, Joey D for 5 years from 90 to 95, and literally, drove all over the country around with him in a van. So, since they were, based out of Clearwater, but also the New York area, so I really got to know New York City and the whole tri-state area and all the boroughs.
Great.
All
great.
through the 90s, really working with them, and of course, and later on recording on my own. But yeah, man. So
Yeah,
can't wait to get up.
we're hoping to have actually all three of you guys on next month. We're trying to get it together.
Great.
Joey's new book came out, and it's
Yeah,
doing
man.
fabulous, man. I've got to get my
No, it's
copy.
doing great. And a lot of those stories, especially the Jimi Hendrix stuff, and a lot of that type of stuff, I used to hear firsthand from him. Because I used to pick his brain about it.
That's
I'd
just
be like,
cool.
I used to be like, Jimmy was in your band, and then I'd be like, Peter Chris was your drummer. I mean, like that's the stuff I wanted to talk about. So it's like, no, man, I'm so glad he put out that book, because it's like
I'm literally dying to read it, and I can't wait to have him on, because I've seen some of the other interviews, and plus Ronnie's just fun, to have on just because he's Ronnie, man. He's such a character, and hell, I want to call him up right now and ask him, like, what are you doing, buddy? We get in
Yeah,
the
I mean
car,
Ronnie's, he's he's David Lee Roth, David Letterman, and Jay Leno wrapped into one.
all
you
in
know?
one.
So,
He is just a
yeah,
tremendous talent and a funny guy
yeah,
in every way, and he's got a great family legacy too. I mean, his
he
dad's
does.
amazing. A lot of people don't realize how much Joey D had an effect on the industry as a whole.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the thing is, and people don't realize, that Joey also, during, and this is all that this was all that pre-Beatles rock and roll, because
right.
then the Beatles, he kind of
Right. They
leveled
opened for
really,
him. I mean,
right, and but Joey did a few movies too for Paramount Pictures.
mhm.
You know, he
That's
did
awesome.
2 Tickets to Paris. He did Hey Let's Twist, and I think a couple others I don't recall the names of, but yeah. So for a moment there, riding high, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then and that of course turned into a fabulous career. That
Mhm.
to this day he's enjoying the fruits of that that era.
Absolutely. I love the fact I saw him on an interview. He still looks, he's 82, I believe, and he's large as life. He was showing the reporter how to dance, little reporterette, and
Yeah.
did it okay, man. I can do the
Yeah,
twist,
yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
I love it, man.
No,
So-
hey, I'll tell you what, Neve. When I get back from South America, in sometime in November, we'll get the 3 of us on at the same time. It'll be awesome.
great. Yeah, it'll
Yeah,
be
can't
awesome.
wait.
In fact, seeing your video, I have to mention I've always got some project percolating under my head, and since Julie's in Tampa and I have lots of family in Tampa, I probably see myself working on video at his place sometime in the future. Just
Oh yeah, I would
I've
recommend
seen
it.
what he does. And I just like to work with people I like to work with, and it's easy, and it's not even work.
No, let me
like
tell
when
you. Well, let me tell you that when I went there, because we did that video in May, okay?
Right.
So of this year. So Ronnie and Doug and Doug Johnston, who was our engineer during the D-Force era, they have a first-rate, and I'm not just trying to say this because they're my friends, but I mean they have a first-rate operation going on over there. Doug's a master engineer, and then Ronnie's taking care of the video production and producing artists, and their facility is really nice. They got the stuff. I highly recommend anybody that's interested in doing it, going to All Access. Even me living in South Florida, I'm going to go out of my way to go there and do things.
Absolutely. To
right
me,
off Almerton Road, right there,
Right.
near the Feather Sound area. It's technically Clearwater, but it's easy to get to. Great vibe when you walk in. It's got that cool vibe.
Right.
And
right.
you're ready to be an artist when you walk in there. And Ronnie really makes you feel like an artist when he's working with you.
He is just a tremendous talent, and I say that when I saw his track before the latest one, Juicy, just a tremendous song. God Almighty, that was like.
Are you kidding?
He just took and he showed everybody what.
Are you kidding?
Like he just kicked everybody's ass with that.
He kicked everybody's ass on that, and the song, the composition, the tune, the instrumentation, and even the video production. I mean, just from every aspect of every molecule that's into that thing is just top notch.
The lyrics, the guitar players, the band everything's just. I couldn't.
Everything.
It was one of the things. We get a lot of stuff. We look at a lot of stuff. I heard, he sent me the link to it. I watched it, and I had to get my girl up. I'm like, Annie, you got to come out here and check this video out. You're not going to believe this guy. And
no, it's
unbelievable.
I've turned so many people onto that video, and as you see, I think it's got about 100,000 views.
Yes.
Just on YouTube, and that tells you something right there for
Absolutely.
he's
amazing, and hell, we're sitting here wherever you are, Ronnie. We're pimping for you, man.
We're pimping, man.
We're pimping it, baby.
And also, I want to shout out, to Andy Beer, who's still with Ronnie, who in D-Force was our keyboardist and baritone sax player and played tenor.
Right.
But Ronnie and Andy are still together. And when I joined, when we were forming D-Force, and when I became a Starlighter in the spring of 1990, we'll talk about how we actually met. I used to remember Peaches Records and Tapes. It was right on Gulf Bay, right next.
Oh yeah.
Right next to Mr. T's at the time, which was the rock club there, and in that same plaza. And they walked in one day. So Andy was Joey D's MD, music director, and they're still together. And he's in that Juicy video. He's one of the horn dudes, and they're still together. And so awesome. these are my brothers, man.
Yeah, and everybody's such good normal fucking people, and that's, I think,
Yeah.
a lot of success, because
Yeah.
you know, it's great to be a good talent, but like I've found, and I'm sure you agree, if you have somebody that can have all the talent in the world, if they're just a dick to work with, what's the
Yeah.
point? You
And
know?
you know, and the thing too, and you know, and back in the day, you know, Neve, you know, we're all the same generation, you know, with all the excesses that came with being in a popular rock band, and we experienced that. But luckily with us, it never went beyond just, we smoked a lot of ganja and
Right.
drank a lot of beer, and that was the extent of it. It never got heavier than that, you know. So
That's always a good thing.
yeah, because you know, some
Yeah.
of our colleagues, you know, dabbled
Oh,
in, you know, on the higher level stuff, and you know, you know, with time, you know, when you're young, okay, you can deal with it for a while, but you see the,
if
you know,
it
where it
turns
ultimately,
into a lifestyle, you've got problems. And you know,
yeah,
I'm a recovered alcoholic, which, you know, we never
yeah,
really recover, but I don't feel any Jones for it. I smoke. I have, you know,
nah,
it's legal here where I live, and you know, I've never known anybody to kill
yeah.
anybody smoking
Well,
weed.
you know, I've been sober since 2000. I'm going on 19 years sober next month. So,
Wow, good for you.
November
Bravo.
10th, 2002, I quit that day, and like, you know, and
Well,
once I quit
excellent.
drinking, man, I mean, the desire to do anything else disappeared with me, because you know, the
It
alcohol was
has,
always
it
the,
has, it has with me, but it was calculated, in that I, you know, like when I go to a party or something, if everybody's getting drunk, I don't really care, but you know, I don't hang out like I used to till the end of the
oh
night,
yeah,
and
right,
just
right,
get liquored up, because you know, one thing I did realize is when I was hanging with all my drunk friends, I would laugh at any joke ever made. And I've noticed this now that I'm sober, and I go to a club sometimes and I'll hang out with my friend who's drinking beer or whatever. And people around me, I can just tell that when the reptile hour starts and the reptiles
oh
come
yeah,
out, and you can watch it. And at that point, I usually just leave, because it comes a little uncomfortable, you know? Like
yeah.
everybody's sitting
Well,
around
you know,
getting liquored up, and I'm sort of sitting there. You know, it doesn't bug me 9 out of 10 times. But, you know, I
yeah.
just don't put myself in it. And when I go to a gig, I don't care, man. I really love playing the music. And that's really what
Oh
it's
yeah,
all
I
about.
mean, you know, and you know, Neve, I mean, like, you know, I'm with you. I'm in the same boat, you know, and going 19 years sober, it's like,
Well,
at
you
this
look
point,
a lot
but it's
better
funny,
than
you
a
know,
lot of people who've held that
somebody
lifestyle.
came, uh-huh,
I mean, you look great, because, you know, if you're for your age, you look great anyway. But a lot of our contemporaries, a lot of them did some hard living. And I've done my
yeah,
share of hard living. But
yeah,
being a drummer, I never really got into the blow like some people did. Some
yeah,
people, you know, in my circle would
yeah,
do that a lot.
yeah.
It screws my rhythm up too bad. It just, you know,
No, I don't know how you can play on that stuff, man. I tried,
yeah,
you know,
me
I
too.
would, you know, if somebody would turn me on, oh, I want to do a bump in the bathroom. I'm not gonna
Right.
lie, I tried that, and then to
Sure.
try and play afterwards, forget
Oh,
it.
it's horrible. It's
No,
just not
no,
worth,
you
it's
can't.
not worth it. And, you
No,
know,
no.
I've known a couple of exceptions to the rule who I won't mention, that we love them. And I will tell you, one of my friends has the Constitution. You know who you are out there, buddy. And I will tell you, he lives like an animal, and is such a, he'll never die. He's going to be here with Keith Richards, Willie Nelson, and
Uh,
whoever else is left at the library in Manhattan after
yeah.
things go to
Well, a
shit.
couple of us were made of steel, right? So a couple of them are, you know.
Well,
But you know,
I
I want to interject real quickly. You know, getting back to being around people that are drinking. Like, so I had this guy come up and he goes, "Yeah, Phil, you know, I used to like you better when you were drinking." And then I
oh, I
said,
hate that.
you know what? I used to like you better when I was drinking.
Perfect comeback. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've found
When I
that to
was
be
drinking, I
true.
actually liked you, but now that you know, it's like, yeah.
Now that I'm
So
sober, you're kind of a dick. You know?
yeah, it's like
No.
I like you better, you know. It's like
Yeah, you know,
so.
people say that about a lot of people, but you know, I know myself. I've been going. It's going on 3 years for me, and I feel
Oh,
better
good for
every
you.
day. I mean,
Yeah.
there was like 5 years where I was just drinking too much, and
Mhm.
it's just
Yeah.
not good for you. And I got tired
Yeah.
of it. You know, you wake up with that bad taste in your mouth, and it's just like, no
No,
way.
no, no. It's real
Life's too
hard to be
short.
productive. It's real hard to be productive when you're hungover.
It is. You know, and anything you do, it just makes a lower level of performance. But hey, we've got a minute, and then
Yep.
we're gonna go to a break, and then we're gonna have you play some stuff.
Great. Yeah, and then I want to give you the story behind Avocado briefly as well.
Yeah, I want to talk about that before
There's a
we
story
do any
behind that
picking.
song, by the way.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
All right.
That we got to hear. Absolutely.
All right.
All right, man. Everybody, we're here live with Sil Fest, and we're going to be talking about avocado. We'll be right back live with Neve, 10:30, half past the hour.
They sentenced me I'm international singer-songwriter Hira, and I'm on Live with Neve. See you guys soon.
Yes, she is. I think Hira is just so sweet. What a woman. Here is one of our guests from Indonesia, and she is a remarkable young lady. She's got all kinds of charities she works for. She's doing collaborations with some of our guests as well here in the States, but she is like the ambassador of goodwill for Indonesia and just tremendous talent. I love her. So getting back, if we could bring Phil back up here. And so Phil, before we talk about the new thing, I just want to ask you, for the people who haven't seen you before, just context. What was your briefly? What was your start in music? I know the answers, but some of these folks don't know yet.
Yeah. So I grew up in a musical household. My father was a Brazilian jazz pianist. My mother was a composer, piano instructor. Blah blah blah. They migrated here to the U.S. from Brazil in the late '60s during the second wave of bossa nova that swarmed. The United States, and my father's name was Manfredo Fest.
Yes.
So at home it was music nonstop, nonstop music. So in the late '70s, in elementary school, started off with violin in the orchestra. Moved over to clarinet because I wanted to play saxophone, and then but I always loved just the sound of a overdriven guitar,
Absolutely.
And my first 45 was I wanted to go. My mom took me to the record store, and I wanted to get the 45 to Smoking in the Boys' Room. Remember the original version?
All right.
But as fate would have it, when I brought it home, all of a sudden I put it on, and it was like da da da. Smoke on the Water. It must have been filed alphabetically. So I came home with Smoke on the Water, the 45, which had the original version of Smoke on the Water with the live version on the flip side.
That's funny. I remember that. Yeah.
So, I mean, here I am in second grade, and
Richie Blackmore was a savage.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about heavy rock. Remember, because at my house, I didn't know anything about guitar or anything. But when I heard those opening power, that riff, I was just like, oh my God. What is that?
What did your dad think of that music?
That's me. He just figured, well, he's in a phase. He's a kid.
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad wasn't too impressed with a lot of popular music.
But it's funny though about your dad. I knew of him when I was in boarding school because I was into jazz back then, and I went through a little Brazilian phase, if you will. And
cool.
Then when JR and you guys were working on his music back in the I guess it was the 90s.
That would have been mid 90s. Yeah, that was like 95.
Yeah, and it's some great stuff because I used to JR would come and we'd listen to the mixes from it, and I'd just be like, oh my God, this project is so fun. I wish I was playing on it, But
yeah.
So you've gotten from there with the rock bands and all that. Now you seem to have a really pretty stable career going, playing your music.
I am. So what I do is, I'm a full-time working musician, and then I like to balance that with my artistic endeavors. So my artistic endeavors is when I put out albums and blah, 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 and I get to do, occasionally tour abroad and do, shows and blah, blah, blah. And so when I'm doing that, then I'm doing the Brazilian jazz bossa nova. I wear the bossa nova Brazilian jazz cap.
Right.
Right.
And very well.
So I still play all the contemporary styles. I love everything. As a working guitarist here in South Florida, I play everything. I mean, I'm working with Barry Manilow tribute bands. I do, Bublé reviews, Divas reviews. I back up, all the Motown tribute acts.
Right. I mean, those are such fun gigs. People used to really dog on tribute bands, but they're so fun to do. Like
I'm playing in a variety of things. I'm first call for all the musicals that come down here. I've got Jersey Boys coming up. I'm doing Sweet Charity. I've done about 50 musicals in the last 5 years. Everything from Rent to Mame to Swing, Hot Shoe Shuffle to Cats. You name it, I've done it.
That's cool.
Little Shop of Horrors. I mean, the list goes on. I've done about 50 literally in the last 5 years. So, because I can read, so I can be a pit musician, and I like a couple of those a year to keep things legit.
Absolutely. Those they do take it a little out of you. I imagine learning all the tunes and having to read it and be get it quick.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the better your reading skills are, the less time you have to put into it, right? So, but it's the time commitment, because when you're like, even with Jersey Boys coming up, and I love that music, so I just love that music. But it's a 4-week commitment of 8 shows a week. So once the run starts, that's your life,
Right.
So, and it's really, and then you're, like you said, my song stuck to your head. But when you're doing an 8-show run, those tunes are, I mean, you're living that during that time. You're in character, so to speak, like the actors are.
Yes.
And so, but yeah, so I'm really glad you dug the tune. Segueing back to Avocado.
Talk about Avocado.
Yes. So it's a true story. Okay. So it's it's off of this CD, my latest record, Cafe Phone, which, by the way, I'm leaving for Brazil on Monday and doing the official CD release party at the Cafe Phone.
All right.
So people ask me, and let's talk real quick about this. I don't know if anybody remembers, but this is a CD, right? I don't know if anybody.
I do. And buy one
I'm holding it in my hand. I'm holding it in my hand, right? I know they're going by the way of 8 tracks. I get it, but I just can't have all my hard work existing solely in cyberspace.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And
so
for my guests watching him, buy a CD from him. The stuff you can get electronically may be more convenient to you, but order the CD from Phil. He'll sign it. You'll actually have his DNA on the envelope.
I'll sign it. Absolutely.
And make an army of super Brazilians.
Well, the thing is that, like I did a little concert, a little library series in Palm City up here in the Stewart area on Saturday. And it was a little jazz series, this myself and the host pianist, and it was a questionnaire performance. And, I brought 10 of them with me. They sold like hotcakes. So every time I perform, I set them out in front of me, and people still buy them, So
remember, people, you can buy that album on any of the electronic platforms, and they're there. If you want it, get it. It helps. But order a CD, because the bottom line is musicians are starving today, and they make a higher profit margin on a CD than they do just sending it. Remember, you're not feeding the tech lord, you're feeding Phil. That way he can go down south to Cafe Fon and eat some good, Brazilian food.
Well, and I really appreciate that plug. And also, like this one's closed here, but I've got great liner notes. There's stories. There's a lot of cool things, like, because you remember in our day, you would buy that album and read the notes. That's all you had,
Right.
That's all you had. And you would look at those same pictures every day, and it was wonderful.
Do you remember sitting? You'd hear it on the radio. Like I remember hearing like Frank Zappa's Halloween album came out, and I was waiting, and I was up in Pittsfield, Massachusetts at the time. I was a teenager, and I kept haunting the record store. They knew me really well. I'd go in there, and I'm like, when is the record going to come in? And then it came in, and I had to ride over there in the snow. And when I got it home and I opened it up, and it had the great pictures and the music was killer, we'd sit there and put the record on and read the liner notes and see who played what.
You just read those notes, and you'd look at those same pictures every day. You never got sick of it. And that's all you had of that artist. And maybe a picture of whoever you were into would maybe come out in a magazine every once in a while. And that's all we had.
Right. There was none of that MTV or... I watched Soul Train. I watched, various stuff that was on musical shows. I thought, as a kid, I thought Soul Train was great because my mom liked it. And that, there was a lot of great music. So we're sitting here talking. You want to play something?
Yeah, so I will. Yes. But real quick on Avocado, it's a true story. And of course, the song is not to be taken too serious. Okay. It's my, it's supposed to be, it's the fun, last tune, last track on the record. And it's, but, down here we have a chain of supermarkets, as you remember, called Publix.
Yes.
And we also have, right. So we have Publix, and there's a newer chain, one of these boutique chains called Aldi. I don't know if you have
in Germany.
Okay. So we have Aldi's here now that, kind of swarmed the area in the last 10 years. So,
right.
So anyway, I went to go buy, every once in a while I like to have an avocado, the little ones, the good ones. And Publix was charging $1 an avocado. So Aldi had them going for 50 cents. So the Aldi's much farther. So I drove that extra mile, so to speak. went there and grabbed 2 avocados, and I was super happy. And I talk about this in the song because I was saving all that money, right? Hey, man.
Absolutely.
So, I was going to get 2 for the price of 1. So,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah. So I put everything in a bag, and, at Aldi, they don't give you bags, so you have to kind of improvise,
You have to,
right?
yeah, you have to buy them.
So on the way to the car, I dropped everything, right? So, stuff fell under the car, blah, blah, blah. And I talk
Oh,
about,
yeah.
so then I gathered my goods and got everything in the car and drove home. So when I got home, it was only 1 avocado, right?
Oh, man.
I look at the receipt, and the guy had charged me for 3 avocados. So in an attempt to save money, it cost me more.
Yeah, I love it. And it's a great little serendipity. I was going to say, it's like, it reminds me, you could out Michael Franks on it in a way. And I don't mean that as negative. I mean, like,
he's my guy. You kidding? I
Popsicle
love it.
Toes. I mean,
Yeah.
he could, if you gave that to him, or, he could do it. Like, I love the song. I had it in my head. And I really liked the blue notes you hit when you were doing the chorus, where you went, avocado. And then when you, at the end of the phrasing, you went to this blue jazz thing, and I can sing it along with it, but it's one of those things. I liked it because it made the song. The dissonance,
that's cool.
the little bit of dissonance for blue note that you hit there, it was really cool. You know what I'm talking about?
I
It's
do.
like
I know
the
part you're talking about at all, because I shift the I shifted keys there just for that at the end of the chorus there, and because it's basically a 1-6-4-5 chord progression song. It's a simple song. I mean, it's just
but it's a nice tune. It puts a smile on your face. It's lighthearted.
That's all.
I immediately followed it up with some, Sodom and Gomorrah by, Kill Switch Engage or something. But
no, you had to get regrounded. So I got it.
No.
All right.
Actually,
so you know what I'm going to do?
Yes.
You had mentioned. Sorry if I'm talking over you, Neil. Sometimes we're cutting in
Not
and out
at
here,
all.
so I apologize for that.
You're fine.
I'm going to play. You had mentioned Rio de Janeiro. So on Cafe Phone here, I do a track by the great Antonio Carlos Jobim.
Oh, yes.
That he wrote, of course, is known for Girl from Ipanema, but man, his catalog is way more, extensive than just that song, which is, by the way, I love that song. But all you have to do is pick up the Jobim meets Frank Sinatra, and you can really just hear, those two work together. But this one is called La Carioca, okay? And that means she's a Carioca. And it's track 7, right before Avocado. And basically, a Carioca is somebody who's native to Rio de Janeiro. So I'm going to do this song here real quickly, okay?
Great.
How's that? Hear the
Here
guitar?
we are live with Phil Fest.
Ela é carioca, basta o jeitinho dela andar. Nem ninguém tem carinho assim para dar. Eu vejo na luz dos seus olhos as noites do Rio, ao luar. Vejo a mesma luz, vejo o mesmo sol, vejo o mesmo mar. Ela é meu amor, só me vê a mim que vive a encontrar. Na luz do seu olhar, a paz que sonhei. Só sei que sou louco por ela e pra mim ela é linda demais. Ela é meu amor, ela é carioca, ela é carioca.
right, everybody. Phil Fest. We're going to go to the break. Live with Neve, Phil Fest. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Neve from Live with Neve. We're just having a little fun driver here, so please PayPal me / at Live with Neve.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve, Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
All right, all right. Here we are. We're back with Phil. That was very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, a little excerpt of the song there. It's just such a beautiful song, and I shouldn't be playing it this early in the morning. It's a late evening. But,
oh, yeah. Did you work last night?
No, I didn't. I've just been, anytime I'm going to come on with you, Neve, I get so excited. It's usually a week of insomnia leading up to it.
Well, us too, man. We always love having you on the show. You're great fun, and you have great music, and hell, you're a lot of fun.
Well, I appreciate it, and I always appreciate coming on. And it's an honor for me to be here representing and talking about, Tampa Bay history, and I think the Tampa Bay connection is the thread that connects a lot of us here, and anybody that lived there, during those golden years of the late '80s through the '90s was, it was the place to be,
It was such a great and wild, fun time, and you think about how much more carefree it was compared to today for the kids. I mean,
are you kidding?
I think back to the '70s when I was, in high school, and how different it is. Like, first off, the coolest thing, we didn't have any fucking iPhones, and I think that that was good. Like, to take pictures, like you had to have that one nerd kid. Like, I was that kid. I'd get a camera and have learn something about photography, depth of field, all those things. But you had to kind of engage rather than just doing it on your app.
I invested in a high-end camcorder. I've got all kinds of footage on super millimeter 8s, and and we knew, because people ask me, well, what was it like then? And I say, well, it's kind of like how it was now, except for we just weren't online the whole time.
Right.
Plazas already looked modern. Everything was already modern, right? It was like, okay. So basically how everything looks now, but just without all the stuff. And, we made it work. We all knew when to meet everybody where. We all knew, blah, blah, blah. And, and I used to love reading the local music rags.
Oh,
and finding out
Music Magazine and Creative Loafing.
Yeah, we knew players, and we knew, jam. We knew where to be. We had no problem hooking up with people.
Right.
I don't mean hooking up, but like this meeting. No. Okay, we're all going to meet at Gasoline Alley at 9. We had it together.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like, my band, the Shakes, we were one of the earliest bands to have a website. And one of the things that was interesting, it had to be around I graduated Full Sail in '92. So at Full Sail, I learned that the Living on a Prayer tour was using this thing called email. And at any rate, I tried to, somebody I knew was building websites. So I was, we were very proactive about marketing the Shakes. We really hustled a lot, bought advertising in all the magazines. And so when I said to the guys, I go, hey, I want to get a website, and we got this thing called email. And they just looked at me and were like, huh?
What year are we talking here, Neil?
About 93. It was right
93?
93. That was when it first.
You already had a.
Well, the thing was, let me tell you what was funny. So I tell everybody, and I'm being a nerd inside. I love all kinds of gear and cool shit. And they were looking at me like, well, how much does it cost? First thing they want to know. And I'm like, well, it's $150 to build the website. They maintain it and maintain our address and host it. It came out to like $40 a month, $150 up front. And we had email and we had a page. I think about what it looked like now. I wish I had, pictures of it. I had a 286 computer back then, and a dial-up network, but you could get email through CompuServe. You could get it through CompuServe became AOL eventually, or
right, AOL, right? I was going to say, wow. But, you were 10 years ahead of the curve, dude.
And well, I'd found it. I would have never been that far ahead of the curve, that was the problem, being too far ahead of the curve. Nobody would ever go check it out. Our stats were always horrible.
Well, in '93, I didn't even get my first computer till '97.
No kidding. Well,
personally, I was a little bit late for the party, but yeah.
I used to goof around with like a Commodore 64, the sequencing, the really bad shit, like a Passport MIDI interface. And when I went to Full Sail, I hadn't had a synclavier, and MIDI was in its prime or going into.
Yeah, but you were more of a techie, yeah. Going Full
yeah,
Sail.
I was just I was a musical nerd, so I knew that I could make a record. And by the time I went there, I'd already been on and played on or a bunch of stuff. Like all of our bands, we made little shit record, EPs and booking tapes. I mean, we got a lot of mileage in those days about handmade booking tapes.
That's what I'm saying. We made it work. That's what I mean.
You have to go to the club and hassle a barmaid for a while, give her a good tip.
Yeah, because now you think, hey, how would I, because now we text people, hey, I'm on my way. I'll meet you in the corner of 4th and 8th. You think, well, how did we do it back then? Now it would be hard to go back to it now, but we did it back then. We didn't.
You just met at the gas station or something,
It was like we just knew where to meet everybody. You would plan earlier in the day.
Absolutely.
I'll meet you in Ybor City at you talk to somebody at noon
somewhere.
Yeah, I'll be in front.
Right.
You just knew where to meet people. I'll be there at 6, and everybody met there at the time you allotted, even though you hadn't talked for 7 or 8 hours.
Yes. Let's play some more music. I'm sitting here. I'm sorry. I had a message I was trying to read. I glanced off for a second.
Something flashed by in my screen real quickly. Somebody had asked if I was singing in Portuguese, and the answer is yes. Portuguese. So, yep. Brian right there is asking me that. And yes, it is Portuguese. In fact, speaking of Portuguese, I'll do one more. This is off the record as well. This one is called O Barquinho, which means my little boat. And this was a composition by the great, who's still alive, Roberto Menescal. And I just love this song. So,
all right.
So
Phil Fast, live with you on Neve.
Dia de luz, festa de sol, e o barquinho deslizar numa cela azul do mar. Tudo é verão e amor se faz, e o barquinho pelo mar que desliza sem parar. Sempre intenso, leva proteção, vai saindo deste mar e o sol. Beijo, par e luz, dias tão azuis. Volta do mar, desmaia o sol, e o barquinho deslizar e a vontade de cantar. Sol tão azul, ilhas do sul, e o barquinho, coração deslizando na canção. Tudo isso é paz, tudo isso traz uma calma de verão. E então o barquinho vai, a tardinha cai. Volta do mar, desmaia o sol, e o barquinho deslizar e a vontade de cantar. Céu tão azul, ilhas do sul, e o barquinho, coração deslizando na canção. Tudo isso é paz, tudo isso traz uma calma de verão. E então o barquinho vai, a tardinha cai. O barquinho vai, a tardinha cai. O barquinho vai.
Wow, that is just so nice. That is really a nice piece. Excellent. Hey, I couldn't bribe you into playing another song, could I?
Oh, of course you could.
Rather than me sitting here running my yap all day.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'll play one more off the record, one of my own. I've done it before, but let's do it again. One called Each and Every Week.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Phil Fast, everybody, live with Neve.
On Saturday morning, now it's time to get out. We love to do it each and every week. The birds are chirping and the breeze feels so good, yeah. It's how we do it, so we never feel that it's time to honey. And for my money, we'll always enjoy this. It did not rain, so we didn't just think of people do. But there's nothing like the real thing. We love to do it each and every week. It's how we do it each and every week. And if it's raining, well, we'll just take a peek. We love to do it each and every week. It's how we do it each and every week. And if it's raining, well, we'll just take a peek. Oh. The day has come and gone, and wow, it was a good time. And yes, we've done it each and every week. Indeed, the birds were chirping and the breeze felt so good, yeah. And sure enough, my love, we're not feeling it. We've had our money, and honey, I know we'll always enjoy this. It did not rain, so we didn't just take a peek of people do. But there's nothing like the real thing. We love to do it each and every week. It's how we do it each and every week. And if it's raining, well, we'll just take a peek. We love to do it each and every week. If we do it each and every week. And if it's raining, well, we'll just take a peek.
Neil, unmute yourself. I think you're on mute.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
that was great, Phil. Thank you. That was awesome.
Man, thank you so
pleasure,
much,
guys.
Phil.
My pleasure.
You're always so fun and great stuff. I really enjoy having you on. Well, so you're off for Brazil in a couple days. Safe travels.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
And,
Thank you, guys.
I look forward to seeing your exploits online. As you get into your gigs down there, I always look forward to your posts.
Thank you. And Jules, great seeing you again, sweetheart.
You too.
And
You too.
Great meeting Irish online and seeing Michael briefly.
Yes.
And it's an honor for me to be a charter member of the family.
Oh,
You
we
definitely
love
are,
you.
man. You're always
Thank
got
you.
a home here. And if you and your wife are ever up in New York, man, you're always welcome to come hang at the shore.
We are planning on it, and I will definitely keep you posted when I can make that happen.
Great, great.
Awesome.
You've there's a nice view of the water, and you're welcome to come and be my guest for a weekend or something. We'll play some music and eat some great food.
Awesome. No, I'm going to take you up on that.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
excellent.
All right.
Look forward to seeing you. Keep us updated about what's going on in Brazil.
Yeah, have a safe trip.
Okay,
Thanks,
buddy.
everybody.
Bye.
All right, we'll be back at 4:00 today. We have a guitar player from Italy who is a wonderfully talented guy. I'm sorry, it is Mario Mattei, and on that record he has Tony Levin and he has Jerry Murata playing drums. So if you like fusiony, really swinging guitar, that's where to be. So we're out of here live with Neve. Have a great weekend.